Welcome to Unfuck Your Legal Marketing, the show where we get brutally honest about marketing, business, and the messy middle of making it all work. I'm Gary Johnson, marketing coach, strategist, and professional BS detector for attorneys and business owners who are tired of doing what everyone else does. Around here, we skip the fluff. We have real conversations, real insights, and maybe a few F-bombs along the way. So let's get into it. I am so thrilled to have Elisa Ellis with us. And here's the reason why. Because in business development, confidence is vital. And to attract more ideal clients, you need to be confident. Elisa is the queen, and I really say the queen of confidence, because she transforms her clients' lives. She transformed my life in regards to being a wardrobe stylist, wardrobe coach, stylist coach. You can call her whatever. I think she's fucking amazing. And she also has this thing called Turnkey Style, and she's written books on this. I am just so thrilled that you're here and so honored as one of my first guests. And I cannot tell you, I can't wait to get into this shit because so many attorneys need this stuff. So welcome. Glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm honored.
Okay, so let's get straight into it. So my first question for you is, why do so many lawyers underestimate how presence actually impacts their business development?
I think a lot of people, not just lawyers, but we'll talk about lawyers specifically. You have to show up, right? I'm going to give you a
Yeah.
perfect example of how important this is. I worked with an attorney, successful one, no less, and we went through all their close. And every time they picked up something, they said, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Now, this is a person that goes to court and they litigate big cases. I said, when you go to court, do you want to feel fine? Or do you want to bring it? Do you want to bring
Yeah.
it and like slam it home and really win the case? Well,
Yeah.
of course, he says, well, of course I want to bring it. I'm like, every day that you show up in these clothes that are just fine,
Yeah.
that's the energy that you're bringing. That's the presence that you're bringing with you to court, to the office, meeting with clients, you name it. And the really interesting thing is, fast forward 6 months, and he gave me he shared a great testimonial with some people that we were amongst. And he said, it literally changed my life because
Yeah.
now I apply that to everything in my business.
Oh
Is it
my God.
fine
Yeah.
or am I bringing it?
Yeah.
And that's, I think people underestimate not just their presence, but what they're wearing, how they show up to things, running out the door. We're all busy, right? Or I
Sure.
hear people say, well, I'm busy.
Yeah.
We're all busy. We're all busy. So you have to decide what kind of presence you want to bring to a networking event, to court, to
Yeah.
meeting someone for coffee, whatever that is.
Yeah. When they say, I'm so busy, what's typically your response to that? I know what my response would be, and I'm sure it's a lot worse than yours is. But like if I'm your client and I'm like, that's nice and all, but Lisa, I'm just too busy for that.
You know, I people make time for what they think is important.
Yeah.
And I deal with this a lot, right? A lot of people think that style and what you wear is just fluffy and it really doesn't make a difference. And
Mm.
it really was interesting to me. I was listening to a James Clear and Andrew Huberman. He's a
Okay.
neuroscientist. They did a
Yes, I know
podcast
him.
together, right?
Yep.
And he was talking about how we all have the same number in the days, and you can either
Mm.
decide to make something important or not. But it's really what gives people the advantage is that 2 to 5 minutes of discomfort, right? Like you're either going to go to the gym or you're not, and it might be raining that day, and
Yeah.
only a small percentage, 1% of the people are going to actually get up, get dressed, go to the gym in the rain, and the
Yep.
others are not. They're going to stay home where it's warm because they don't want to get wet. But
Yep.
that little 2 to 5 minutes of discomfort is going to separate you from everybody else. That's what's going to give
Oh,
you the advantage. And that's kind of how I feel about your style and your clothes that you wear and whether or not you're intentional every day about how you're showing up. That's
yeah.
what's going to give you an advantage, right? I mean, there's a lot of attorneys in all the different fields. And so how can you separate yourself from other attorneys? What makes you unique? And I'm sure you talk about this in your marketing. How can you stand out? How can you show up
Right.
authentically? What makes you different? What stories? How are you trying to connect with people? And all
Mhm.
of that can be done through what you're wearing and how you're showing up every day.
Absolutely. It creates a brand. People
Yeah,
know you as this person's a slob, as opposed to this person is so sharply dressed. And
right.
and I just want to say to anybody who's listening to this, I had the experience of having Elisa present at my group coaching because I was in Amsterdam screwing around, and she was very, very thoughtful to work with my group. And I listened to the actual recording. And one of the things that really struck me from that recording was you had asked the group this question, which was, has anybody here said, I'm going to buy that new outfit once and then fill in the blank? Once I lose weight, once I make more money, once I tell the audience, what did you tell them? Because it rocked me. And I'll tell the audience why it rocked me after you say that. But, dive into that a little bit because that was so powerful.
Well, and I think everybody can resonate with some part of that, right? We all have the jeans, the clothes, the outfit,
Yeah.
whatever it is that we're waiting for. But the reality is you're not right, you're not the same person you were 2 years ago.
Oh
You're
my
not the
God,
same
yes.
person you were 5 years ago. You're not the same person you were 10 years ago. And yet we all have most of us have the jeans, the outfit, the suit, the dress, though you name it, sitting in the
Yes.
closet that you're not wearing because you're waiting. And my big thing is that's not who you are anymore. You're as entrepreneurs, as business people, we're all striving to grow and get better and learn and expand ourselves. So you
Yeah.
trying to fit into that old version of you, it's not working. And so
Yeah.
even if the clothes literally fit you, let's say you lose the weight, even though only about 95 to 98%, like so that would make it 5% and 2%, whatever it is,
Yep.
actually lose the weight.
Right.
Even if you could fit into them, that's not who you are. You've
Yeah.
moved on. Like you've
Yeah.
grown. And that's a great thing, right? That you're
Yeah.
this new, like, I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. I lived in California. Now I live in Texas. I've grown my business. I'm speaking. I'm a completely different person. So trying to fit into that person just doesn't make
Oh
sense.
God, yeah. Yeah. And the other thing that I got from this was my confidence went up. So to tell the audience, I bought 7 new suits after I listened to this. I went down to a tailor down in downtown Phoenix, got 7 suits. And because I was like, I constantly was like, once I lose 5 pounds, once I lose 7 pounds, and the number moves all the time, right? Which hurts my confidence. And when I got these new suits, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get these new suits. And if I lose the weight, well, then I'll just have them taken in. Fine. It's an alteration. It's going to cost maybe $100. Big deal. No big deal. And what I
Can I
found
say one thing
was, yes, yes.
real quick? You're also, by doing that, attaching your worth to how much you weigh
Yep.
and whatever
Oh
the
my
size
God.
on the pants is. You're telling yourself somehow I'll be worth more when I weigh less or when I can fit into size
Yeah.
whatever. And that's a
Yeah.
big thing too that
Yeah.
people get stuck on.
Fuck yeah. It's so true because we totally get stuck on it. And then what happened for me, once I put these suits on and I was like, damn, this feels good. It looks good. I started getting into the gym more. And
Uh,
I actually
isn't it
hired a
funny how that
personal
happens?
trainer. Go figure where I was waiting and waiting. So if you've been waiting, if you're listening to this and you've been waiting, don't wait anymore. Like if
Hmm.
there's one thing that I want you to take away from this is do something with your style. Do something. First of all, buy her book because she's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. But do something because it actually elevates your confidence. When your confidence is high, it's easier to bring in business. It's also, like you had said at the beginning, you are a better performer at what you do, which can give you more referrals because you're
Yep.
actually performing the legal work or
Yeah.
whatever it is that you do in such a good way. So How would you suggest somebody starts though? Because I don't think anybody would, okay, I'm going to go out there and buy 7 suits and that's where I need to start. I mean, I think it's a little ridiculous. That was my whole thing.
Okay. But it was a great step in that's what it looks like for you to invest in yourself.
Right.
You knew that's what you needed. And so that's what you went and did. For a lot of people, the first step is letting go of what's not working for them
Oh,
because until you let go of it, you're not ready to move forward. Like, for example, I had a client, actually an attorney, successful attorney in Austin. They said, I need a new black skirt. Okay. I went to their house. We started going through their closet. They had 5 black skirts. Why do you need a black skirt? Well, this one doesn't fit. This one's scratchy. This one's really uncomfortable. They had a reason
and
for
they were
every
never
single one of
wearing them,
those
were
things.
they?
And they weren't wearing them, but they knew they needed a new one. But what would
Yeah.
happen is every time they'd go buy the new one, well, I can probably make one of those other ones work.
Oh gosh.
And so
Yeah.
the actual process of letting go of what's not working for you forces you to then say, okay, now what? And
Oh,
I really encourage a lot when I give presentations to law firms, other financial firms, start with 10 to 12 pieces, 3 tops, 3 bottoms, 3 layering pieces.
okay. Wait,
So
wait.
for
3
men,
tops,
right?
3
So 3 button
bottoms.
downs or a
Yep.
t-shirt or whatever, 3
Yep.
bottoms, whether it's
Yep.
slacks, jeans, chinos, and
Okay.
then 3 layering pieces, whether it's a 3/4 zip, a sport coat, blazer,
Got it.
some type of bomber jacket, leather
Yep.
jacket, like so that because you don't necessarily need 7 suits or 3 suits.
Yeah.
You might
Right.
need a leather jacket for date night. You might need a pair of jeans. You might need a
Yeah.
suit for court. You
Oh,
you might need, a pair of jeans and a t-shirt for kid pickup or whatever you're like.
right.
It's about trying to find pieces that fit your life and your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Buying 7 suits works for you because that's
Yeah.
what your life looks like.
Yeah.
You're an empty nester. You don't have little kids running around. But, in another
Yeah.
world, an attorney who's got little kids they're picking up or an aging parent or whatever. So that 3 top, 3 bottom, 3 layering pieces, it's basically 9 to 10 pieces that you can coordinate and turn into 20, 30, 40 different outfits.
God. Yeah. I mean, just that. I mean, you'll have enough for one a month, one every
Right.
single day for one whole entire month. How great is that? And you also will feel great about yourself. I mean, that's always a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because here's the thing, your brand never sleeps. You and I have
Mm,
talked about this consistency and how we show up.
yeah.
And people think that their brand or their marketing is the AI profile picture they created for LinkedIn,
Yes.
right? I can't tell you how many of those I see. That's great. But really, your brand is when you go grab coffee in the morning, when you go to a networking meeting, when you
Yeah.
pick up your kids at school, because depending on what kind of an attorney you are, an estate planning attorney, you could be meeting other parents at kid pickup drop off.
Very true.
You could be grabbing coffee and someone sitting next to you. I just happened to be, I was in the airport and this woman was talking about her parent, somehow the mother-in-law got her 85-year-old mother-in-law, the will got changed.
Oh,
And it was clearly elder abuse, right? Like, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm like, if there
you're
was
like,
an attorney sitting there, I'm sure they would have piped in. The point is, you are your brand. And so when you have clothes that fit your life and your lifestyle, it helps you show up looking like the credible expert. Because I hear this all
yeah.
the time. Well, Monday through Friday, I wear my suits, I dress up, I wear appropriate clothing. But then when I'm at Costco, I run into client XYZ and I look like
Yeah.
a hot mess and
Yeah.
they don't recognize me. Okay, well,
Wow.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Now
Yeah.
suddenly you're worried about what they think about you because you look like a schlep on
Yeah.
Saturday and they're
Yeah.
paying you an exorbitant or I'm not even exorbitant. They're paying you whatever your fees
Money.
are, right?
Yep.
And they expect something in return. So if you're a hot mess in your personal life, but you're portraying this put together person in in your work life,
Yeah.
are you really like, is
Yeah.
someone going to question your expertise?
True.
I know it's an extreme, but it's happened so many times. I hear people, clients, not clients. Oh, yeah, I was out and I was a hot mess and I felt horrible and I ran into this client. And that tells me you don't have the clothes in your closet that fit your life and your lifestyle. And you haven't figured out how to create a brand for yourself so that you
Yeah.
show up as the professional.
Yeah. And typically it comes to our heads when it is a hot mess, when we see it's a hot mess. When we see other people, that is a hot mess. But it's what I find is it's that small little from very average or even below average looking to sharp. And there's a huge contrast that it just pops, right? And I find that when somebody is well dressed, credibility goes through the roof, And when we're talking about charisma, we're talking about a combination of credibility and warmth. And when we
Yep.
show up like this and we're a hot mess or we're not, you know, looking great, it just diminishes the credibility for really no real reason. I always think that it's just like showing up on time. You could show
Yep.
up on time, you might not, but if you show up late, guess what that is? That's telling them my brand is I don't care about your time. Now, if I don't
Hmm.
show up sharp, that means do I care about myself? Do I care about do I care about my business? I'm probably not even thinking of my brand, right? I just show up, I wing it. And I love your intentionality that it's like, just have a little focus in on this. It's not like this huge thing that you have to spend 40 hours a week on. It's a
No.
quick, I do it, and then I just go in and I go grab, 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 which is, I think it's brilliant to be able to start with cleansing the closet. And that enables you to go, I need to get this. It almost like pushes you to
Right.
do it, right? And it's like,
Absolutely.
okay,
Yeah.
I got to do this. I got to do this. Now, what do you say to people who say, well, I'm showing up as my authentic self as a mess
So
or as a
there's actual
schlep?
research. Yeah, there's actual research that shows they did a study at Yale where they put people in two different groups and they had people rate the subjects. And
Mhm.
they rated the people who were dressed in richer looking clothes more competent than the other people who were dressed in, let's say, messy, poorer looking
Yep.
clothes.
Yep.
And the people who were doing the study were like, oh, this can't be, we got to redo this. This can't be right. So they actually offered incentives the next time around. And yet
Mm,
they still rated the people in the nicer clothes as more competent than the
yeah.
people not dressed as nice. And
Wow.
now I am not saying you have to go out and spend a lot of money. I
Right.
shop for people with all different budgets at factory stores, all the way to Neiman's and everything in between. But there is something about showing up presentable. And I have a caveat for that because I hear people all the time, well, my clients, they dress casually, so I dress casually.
Mm,
And I say,
yeah.
no, you can, but you're supposed to be the expert. You have to pay attention to your
Yes.
details because
Yes.
here's the thing, they're paying you to pay attention to their details. If you're not willing to pay attention to your own details, what does that say about you? What does that say about
Yeah.
your work? You could say, well, no, you have 7 seconds for someone to decide whether they want to like, know, trust, and work with you.
Oh, yeah.
And 93% of all communication is nonverbal. So
Yeah.
you can say it doesn't matter and you can show up looking schleppy or comfortable and say, well, I'm authentic and I feel good in my sweats. Okay, cool. But then it's going to lead to less business because the other person who's working to get an advantage in their business, to gain more clients, to level up, to make more money, they're looking at dressing better.
Yeah.
Here's a visual example. Imagine a Tiffany box, blue box, white ribbon, perfectly wrapped, and a brown paper bag wrapped with twine. Package, a gift. You have two gifts: brown paper bag wrapped in twine, Tiffany box. Tiffany's has spent a lot of money to create a brand, a
Yeah.
logo. Without opening it, that box is going to have something valuable in it. You just
100%.
know.
Yep.
They have spent years reinforcing this is worth something.
Yep.
I don't know what's in there, but I know
Mm,
I want that blue Tiffany
Yep.
box. I don't care if you're a
Totally
man
true.
or a woman, that
Yep.
box has value
I hate
versus
that
the brown
box.
paper bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally
You are
different.
the box. You're the box or
Yes.
you're the brown paper bag. Every day you can make an intention to get dressed
Yeah.
appropriately for wherever it is you're going, or you can just throw something on because you're busy, you don't have time, you're running out. You name the excuse. I get it.
Absolutely.
I had kids. I didn't
Yep.
wear white until I was 50 because I had 2 boys. Yeah. It just wasn't realistic. I knew my limitations.
Totally. And I
So,
hate the Tiffany box analogy because I hate Tiffany because it's so damn freaking expensive. I actually, funny story is I gave my wife a present in a Tiffany box and it wasn't jewelry.
what?
She was so pissed off because she got the box and she's like, oh my God, this is so great. And
Right.
then she opened it up and it was like a
It was
coupon, you know.
disappointment.
I was totally
That's the
disappointed.
see, you just proved my point. She knew there was gonna be something
100%.
valuable in it.
Valuable. Like she was thinking, oh my God, this is going to be valuable. Just like how we dress, all the inside is valuable. All the stuff that's up here
Right.
is valuable. And this gives that credibility to the person who you're across from that
Yep.
could refer you business or could utilize your services. That it's like,
Absolutely.
oh, yeah, that's right. I need to be thinking about that. And I also find, since I bought those suits, I remember the first month when I was wearing them all the time. It was a big thing for me. Like, oh my gosh, it was a part of my mental. Now I just put them on. I'm like,
It's habit.
oh, it's a habit. Exactly. It's a habit. So it takes zero time. It took time to pick it out, to get it, fitted for me, get it altered. But once that
Right.
was done,
But now that you have them,
oh my
it makes
God.
getting dressed so much easier. And let me
Yeah.
ask you, that first month that you wore it, did people
Yep.
give you
All the
compliments? Did
time.
they
People
comment?
still do. All
And
the
how does
time.
that make you feel?
Unbelievable.
See?
Yeah.
Like, imagine going through
Unbelievable.
your day and
Yeah.
having people be like, "Oh, you look great today.
I
Oh, you look
love your
fantastic."
suit. I love your
Yeah,
suit, and if it's a guy, I hate this, but they're like, "Can I see who's the,
right?
who
Yeah,
made it?" And I'm
that's a
like,
big
"Fuck
thing.
off. Fuck off." Like, I'm like, "It's Sears." No.
But they notice you. And that's the
They
whole
do.
idea about showing up authentically on brand and with confidence
Yeah.
is you suddenly are bringing this new energy to everything you do. And
100%.
people are going to notice. People
Yep.
who didn't notice before are going to notice and they're going to remember you and they're going to talk about you. Hey, did you see Gary's new suit? Did
Yep.
you see what he was wearing? And that people talking about you keeps you top of mind. So when the
Amen.
client needs X, oh, yeah, I'm going to call Gary.
Gary,
Remember
I'm gonna
that suit?
remember
I
him.
remember that suit he was wearing. Or they
Yep.
might see a suit or someone who was wearing something like you and, oh, that looks like what Gary was wearing.
Yep.
That's just how it keeps keeping you top of mind.
Yep, it's the gift that keeps on giving, and a
Yes.
lot of the times it's just subconscious in theirs, they just go credible, credible. Like, this
Right.
individual, like you and I went to in October, so for the people who are listening, Elisa and I are both group leaders in a networking group, and we went in October to this networking or group leader summit, and I will never forget, I got a compliment and so did you. And I don't know if you remember this, but we were talking and somebody said, the two of you are probably one of the sharpest dressing individuals here. And I looked at you and I go, the reason why is because I fucking hurt. And it's is the God honest truth, but it was such a great compliment. And they even said, yeah, you Orange County people really dress much better than the rest of the nation. And I started looking around and it's not true because it's a few, but it's the few that make such a huge impact. And this isn't saying like, I am a male model. I'm so beautiful.
No.
Look at me. It's not that at all. You can see if, unless you're listening to this, you can see that, but it adds to this. He's professional. He takes it seriously because I joke around a lot and I do not want my brand to be clown. I want it to be somebody who is safe, funny, entertaining, that kind of stuff. But I don't want to be a clown. And so one of the things that I've noticed is that credibility goes up just by me showing up and looking really great. And that's because of
Yeah.
you. I mean, it literally is because of you. And it's just such a great testimony. And it's these little things like you had said, 3, 3, and 3. How easy is it to do that? Now, I do think one difficult thing to do is to throw away stuff. How do
Yes.
you encourage them to toss it? Because for me, I want to hold on to. But what, Elisa, if I I need to wear it. What if why did I throw that away? So, even though I haven't worn it in years, but it's that
Right?
hope. I mean, am I way off or is that
No,
normal?
you're not. It's
Okay,
totally
good.
normal. Here's the thing. There are I'll go back to the you're not the same person. You might need it. So I have a 30, 60, 90-day pile, which is if you're not really ready to let go of it, put it in a pile in a different room, in the closet, in the garage, wherever it
Mm,
is. And then at 30 days, go back. Does it fit? Do I still like this? Do I need it? Because we have attachments to clothes. We just do. Okay.
yeah. Yep.
And so by putting it in a separate room, in a separate pile, you're starting to detach yourself from it. The other thing I talk about with clients is give it to a shelter. There is someone who is
Yeah.
leaving a job, looking for
Yes.
a job, is homeless, trying to get back on their feet, you name it, who's going to fit in whatever it is you're giving away. And you are
Yeah.
going to provide them with that energy.
That's
Whatever that
beautiful.
piece is,
Yep.
suddenly it's going to have a new life someplace else and give someone that leg up that you had, but you don't need anymore because you're going
Right.
on to your next level. And you don't always have, you went out and you spent money on suits, but you don't always have to spend a lot of money. I had a client,
Yeah.
fabulous woman in the UK. She didn't lose weight. She didn't spend a lot of money. She went to antique thrift stores, got some new jewelry and scarves. She started wearing her new pieces, and suddenly people were calling her glamorous and telling
Yeah.
her that she was beautiful. And again, nothing had changed. She didn't go out and buy a bunch of clothes. She spent
Right.
about 20 pounds, she said, on scarves and jewelry.
Oh my
But the
God.
energy that she brought suddenly, her whole stance, her confidence, how she showed up, she's like, the postman told me I look beautiful.
Oh my
I see the
God.
postman all the time. But it was just this huge change in her persona by simply saying, you know what? I'm good with where I'm at right now. I don't need to lose weight. Let me dress the body I have and
Yeah.
bring it. And
Oh
that
God.
energy just totally changed how she went through her day.
This is why I call you the confidence queen, because that increases somebody's confidence, which is huge. It's
Right.
huge,
Yeah.
especially in our society of we're looking at Instagram models. We're looking at
Uh,
this and we're looking at filters and da 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 da. What does that do for our confidence? It kicks the shit out of it. It knocks it down. And this is taking control over that and saying, no, I don't have to work out. Like,
right.
yeah, should I? Okay. It's better for my health and all that kind of stuff. But
Sure. Right. But that's the other reason I think it's important to let go of those clothes because you don't walk into your closet and say, okay, these clothes don't fit me. So I am motivated to go work out. Do
yeah,
you ever say that?
yes,
No.
no,
You stand there and you go, oh my God, these clothes don't fit me. I suck. I haven't worked out. Fuck me.
yes,
What's wrong with
yes.
me? Why can't I do this?
I'm a
It's like
piece
a
of shit.
total, yeah, like
Yes.
all the things. Like, so
Yep.
get rid of those clothes because that is not how you want to start your day. You
No.
want to start your day in clothes that fit, that make you feel fantastic,
Yeah.
no matter what age you are, what size you are. And it truly changes your energy because
Mm.
you can go from constantly futzing with your clothes
Yep.
to standing confidently and being able to have a conversation without shifting because everything's tight and
Yeah.
it's not working for you.
What about color?
I think color is really important. Going back to the Tiffany box, there's a lot of companies that spend a lot of money on colors for
Yeah.
their brands. Colors have different meanings, like red is strength, right?
Yep.
Porsche and Ferrari both have red in
Yep.
their or yeah, that's what it is. Blue is trust.
Mm-hmm.
Chase, IBM.
Yeah.
Orange is like quirky, playful Dunkin'
Mm-hmm.
Donuts. And so the point is, it's really important to wear colored, especially I think in the field of law, because there's this box that you're supposed to wear the black suit, the charcoal suit, the navy suit. But then what happens is you blend in with everybody else.
Right.
So how can you stand out?
Yeah.
Color is a really easy way. There's actually research that says that when you wear color, your eye is naturally drawn to the color first versus everything else. So I'm not saying you have to show up wearing bright pink,
Yeah.
but there's a difference in you just choosing a blue suit, like a
Yeah.
royal blue suit versus a
Yep.
dark black suit,
Yeah.
right? You're going to
100%.
stand out in the blue suit versus now. Have I had someone come up to me in a bright pink plaid suit before? Yeah.
Yeah.
but that was her personality.
Right.
That was her kind of brand. That she, that was her thing. I have a client who loves orange. And here's the thing, she now has her clients who, when she goes to see them, they say, "What are you wearing?" "Well, I want to see," because they know she's always wearing something orange, whether it's shoes,
Oh
jewelry,
my
belt,
God.
a shirt,
It's her brand.
sneakers. It's her brand. And
Love
so it's
it.
like a little game for them to figure out what she's wearing that's orange. And so now they think of her when they see
Oh,
orange. And that's ultimately what you want. You want people
yeah.
thinking of you like glasses. Oh, years ago, I started wearing glasses because I couldn't see. I had fun with it. I had like 13, 15 different pairs. Now I actually need real glasses, so I have far fewer. But I still wear color. I have blue, I have red, I have green.
I love your red
People
ones, by the
email
way.
me, they text me, they
Yes.
message me, "Hey, I saw
Yeah.
these glasses and I thought of you."
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want people
Yeah.
thinking of you when you're not in their face
Yeah.
talking about yourself.
And it's authentically you too, right? And like you had said, the orange was authentically your client. And it's like, it
Right,
feels right. So you'll do it again and
right.
again and again and
Exactly,
again.
exactly.
It's so brilliant. Like, oh my God.
It could be socks. It doesn't have to be color. I have a guy I know, he wears Ted Lasso socks because it allows him to talk about the pillars of his brand. It's a
Oh my
conversation
God.
starter,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yep.
mean, it's okay. Cool. That
Yeah.
works for you.
Yep. Yeah. There was a guy, who still is, he's still alive, who used to pair his pocket square with his socks. He
Oh,
actually still does. I just
see,
haven't seen him in a while.
but you're talking about it because it makes
I
you think of,
am.
yeah,
And every time that we were in a meeting together, somebody made a remark about his socks and how
right.
they matched with his pocket square. And he was always such a sharp dresser. And it was always this, yeah, Glenn's this. And by the way, this is a shout out to you, Glenn Hamburger. But Glenn, like, and he's very successful at what he does, but he always looks impeccable. He really does. He focuses in on that and he says the same thing you do. It doesn't take a lot of time. It makes me feel fantastic. It helps
Right,
build that awareness of me. This is my brand. He's like, but it's not
right.
obnoxious. I'm not like, hey. He's
Exactly.
like, and he's
Right.
not a loud guy. He's actually a fairly reserved guy. But man, does it make a huge difference. And
And he stands out from other people in the room.
hugely, hugely, which
Yep.
makes him memorable, which is all about your legal marketing. Like it really is. This is how
Right.
you can create your brand and how you can exude confidence and at the same time be authentically yourself so that you're confident instead of
Yes.
going, I'm a shell of myself.
Well,
It's
and here's
huge.
the other really, I'm going to say fun part or interesting part about creating a brand for yourself. It's about what can you wear that's going to get someone to compliment you or comment? Because
Mm,
that can lead to connections, especially for people who are
mm,
introverts. I know a
mm.
lot of attorneys who are introverts. They just want to do their work in their office, never go out and network.
Yep.
And so going out to a networking event is very challenging for them. They don't know what to say, they don't know how to start a conversation. But when you're intentionally wearing something that's going to give someone an opportunity to comment or compliment you, that's them coming to you instead of you having to go to
Mm,
them. And it
yeah.
could tell a story, right? I gave a talk to a group of women attorneys in Dallas. Before the event, I got there early. There was a huge crowd around this woman. I was like, who is this person? Why everybody's surrounding this woman at this event? She had on a pin. Apparently, she has a collection between 200 and 300 pins. They don't cost her a lot of
Oh my
money. She's
God.
gotten them over eons, right?
Yeah.
But people know when she goes to an event, she has on a new pin, and they all wanted to see what her new pin was.
Oh my
This
God.
woman literally had 20 people around her because
Oh,
they wanted to see what pin she had on.
yeah.
That's not a super expensive thing, and it's not
No.
complicated. And yet, she had all these women at her beck and call because they wanted to see like what an opening for
Yeah.
a conversation.
Oh God. Yeah. And I mean, there was a study out that said 70% ish of attorneys are introverts. So this
Oh,
is going to really resonate with them because they're like, yeah, I don't want that. Like, and at the same time, as an introvert, you don't need that obnoxious jacket, right? You don't need to be that flare that is like,
right. Yes. But it's
but
a
you gotta
lot
look good.
easier to have someone come over and chat with you because you're wearing X, a pocket
Yeah,
square, or fun socks, or
yeah,
whatever it is,
yep,
versus not having anybody to talk to and
yeah.
standing by the door,
Oh God,
just
yeah.
not knowing who to talk to or what to do.
100%, 100%. Oh God, thank you. I mean, I could talk to you all freaking day long, as you know. You are such a dear friend and such a wonderful human. I can't thank you enough. I mean, this has been
Thank
such a
you.
pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my God. Hopefully, I'm going to have you on again once I get to my 200th episode. Fuck.
That's awesome. You'll get there before you know it. Before you know
Seriously.
it.
So, if you want to get a hold of Elisa, I'm going to put all of her contact information into the area below. Reach out to her. Get her to talk to your group, to your company. If you're an HR director, you've got to bring in Lisa because she can have those tough conversations with the people who are schleps, who are not looking so great, who are really killing the vibe in the office, but she does it in such a gracious way. Hire her, get her in there because it's going to make a huge difference to your bottom line. And we're all about profitability. And don't be a chintz and go, oh, but she cost. Fuck you, pay her. You guys are going to make so much fucking money. Just do it. So, Lisa, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you for coming on. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it and love everything that you're doing. You're the best. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, talk soon.
That's it for today's episode of Unfuck Your Legal Marketing. If you got a spark of inspiration, learned something new, or at least got a good laugh, make sure to follow, rate, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for hanging out with me, and remember, the best marketing is the one that actually sounds like you. See you next time.